what we've looked at there really was, okay, I'm a counsellor, I'm doing my work, but these are the influences that come into the room. Now, what Sue and I were reflecting on when we were talking about this was actually that we have some people in our own experiences that work very well in schools. And what is it about, what elements are people bringing that enable them to work really well and have a really effective, long-lasting service in a setting like a school? And what are the areas that actually sometimes don't work so well, and therefore the service doesn't quite work so well? So what we did was we came up with a model recognizing that there seemed to be sort of three components to this. Now, in looking at this model, so the next slide, John, is that who am I slide. We looked at this model, and what I'm going to do is to talk about it in a really simplistic way in order to illustrate it. In reality, as they're drawn here, they always overlap. It's very hard to tease out. I think it's almost impossible to just tease out one and be one. But we're going to do that, and we're going to talk about each of those interlocking roles in a very simplistic way. So just accept that as it is to illustrate the model. So in looking at what is it that makes somebody really successful in a school, why is it that a counsellor can just work very well in one school and another counsellor it just doesn't work at all? And so what we figured was that there were three components, and particularly when I look at myself, and Sue reflected on her experience in schools, there seemed to be three elements that we were bringing that made it work. One was the counsellor, the experience part, the bit that does a really good job in the counselling room. So that is the kind of pure counsellor sitting in a room doing the counselling job. But then there are two other elements that need to be in place as soon as you step out of the room. One of those is the role of professional and working in a team surrounding the children in schools. So you are part of a multidisciplinary team usually in a school setting because you're there to support those young people. And the other is the personal. Who are you that enables people to get a sense of who you are and what you do in the room? And when it seems to work, you're in that little middle triangle area where there's a good combination of all three of those aspects. I think where it can get a bit out of kilter is where one decreases and one takes over, that kind of thing. So we're going to look at some of those pairings